you. Thank you, Jama. I get to work with this lovely woman when I come in. She is a ball of energy, so I have to keep up with her. We keep each other going. As Jama said, my name is Michelle. I spent 26 years in Lake Orion teaching 8th grade American history, which I loved. I love American history. I also owned a store with my husband in Metamora for 16 years that we did home decorating, interior design, display antiques, things like that. So that was, I got to do my creative and my history. Then I got a job. I decided I needed to do something else once we closed the store. So I knew Brian. Brian was a good customer of my store. So I came and said, I wrote him a letter and said, you know, do you have anything I could do at the library? I love to read. That's my other passion. And he said, as a matter of fact, we have an opening right now. So I started in circulation, it'll be 2 years ago this December. And then I moved to adult librarian, and I get to buy all of the mystery thrillers, cookbooks, and home interior books, which are my three. That's my stuff right there. So, my other thing I love to do is cook. And so when Jama last April said to me, do you want me to put you in the newsletter and you can do something next November? I went, sure, next November. Okay, at the end of October, I'm like, it's coming up. I've got to think of something. And so I wanted to do stress-free appetizers that you could do ahead of time or have on hand, the ingredients to be able to do those. My family loves appetizers. They also want dinner, but they still want to have something ahead of time too. So these are things that you could do before a dinner. You could do them, just have a little, you know, if you have your neighbors over, or if you're there yourself and you want to treat yourself and have something good. So the other thing is that when I was choosing the appetizers that we would do, we could not do anything that was baked because we have no oven at the library. So that kind of curtailed a few things. So,
could you turn on your speaker on your mic?
Why?
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me? I have the reputation of being the loudest person in this library. That's from the middle school voice. Okay, where's my microphone? Because I have Kyle's on now. I need to. Oh, is this it? No, that's not. Yeah, that is it. Brian, is this it? Yeah. Right? Where'd I put it? I probably buried it under the appetizers.
Actually, you have one on.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if that's going to his camera. That's not. This is my Food Network interview, so. My former student, which I haven't seen in years, he came in and said, can I film you? And I go, hey, do you remember me? He's like, sort of. I'm all, okay. Kind of a nice treat. Now I'll blast it right out. Is everybody, can you hear me? Okay. All right, thank you. So when I thought about the appetizers that we would do, they had to be things that could be room temp, okay? Or I do have something in the crock pot, so I have one hot thing. So let me tell you a little bit about what I've done tonight. The first thing I want to talk about is you should always have hot pepper jelly at your house. Hot pepper jelly, right? Okay, so we're going to pass these around in a minute. I have two sous chefs tonight. I have my friend Joni and my friend Jen. And they are putting together a couple other little things, and then they're going to pass these around. Whipped cream cheese, I use frequently under pepper jelly, or sometimes I'll do a platter with a big soft cream cheese on it. Cocktail sauce, shrimp, people can just dip it in. So it's very versatile, and if you have it, it's very easy, quick to do. Like if somebody shows up unexpectedly, you can either ignore them and not answer the door, or you can go grab your whipped cream cheese and the pepper jelly, and we'll pass. Could you? Okay. They so nicely said they would, and then we'll make some more. Okay. So, please to interrupt me. Raise your hand if you have any questions. I'm used to it, like being a middle school teacher. You know, and the questions I get like, yes, can I help you? And they're like, how many pair of black shoes do you have? You wear a different pair every day. I'm like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Right, Kyle? That seemed to be one of the favorite things. So we're going to pass these around, and you're going to see how easy they are. You can do them on any cracker. And again, they're very good with the cocktail sauce and shrimp on there. Has anybody ever done these before? Okay, so a couple people. Very easy to do, very easy to put together. They're always one of the first things to go when I put them out, so that's that one. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is, should we do the, Joni, do we have the skewers ready to go maybe? The tortellinis? Okay, so the next one, and by the way, I have recipes down there for you, but I do not have the tortellinis on here. So but these are very easy to do. Are you doing the salami or the tortellinis? Okay, these are the salamis, that's fine. So on your thing, you'll see salami pinwheels. This was interesting today making them. So what you have to do, and I was going to try to demonstrate one up here, but 2 of my salamis dropped, and I have 2 dogs, and they both took off with them. They were both waiting, like, drop something, drop something. Those are my demonstration ones, so they're gone. Anyway, what you do is I buy the big salami, like the sandwich size salami, and you actually lay them out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on top of each other. And you'll notice when you get them how they're rolled up. Once they're down on your surface, I use, the recipe I had whipped cream cheese, but I didn't want to use that twice because I already used that once. So I actually filled them with Boursin cheese. Does everybody know what that is? Okay, that is like the cheese that is in the deli that's like flavored, okay? So I spread that over all of the salamis. You make sure you get it all the way to the edge, okay? Because when you roll them up, you don't want to cut off the ends and have nothing on there. So then you just fold them and roll them up. And the nice thing about the Boursin cheese, or if you did the other cheese, it's like a little glue. It holds them together. You could put sliced provolone or a sliced cheese, but you're not going to get that folding up kind of glue. Because as I folded, it's quite a little trick too. Got it down though, so folded them this way, and then I fold them again, and then as I folded, if a piece of salami was sticking out, I just tucked it underneath one of the ones that had the cream cheese on. So they ended up in a roll, okay, which I wrapped in saran wrap, all right, and put them in the fridge, and they were in there for probably about 2 hours. So once then you had the roll, which my sous chefs were nice enough to cut up, the roll was then divided into 10 slices. And when I made them, let me get some plates out here too we did have some here somewhere. Oh, do you want to, I see a couple people just holding yeah. Anybody need a plate here? Yeah. Okay. You're welcome. I feel like I'm handing on tests. All right, don't start your quiz until I tell you can start. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then just hold on to your plate because we might need them later. Did you get yours in? Are you still waiting? Okay. There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go. You're still waiting on yours?
I'm all set.
Okay. Did you get yours yet? Okay, well, I'll give you a plate so the next thing that comes out, you'll be able to have it. Okay, yes. Yes. Plate. Okay. There you go. Okay. I've got two microphone packs on me, so it's like walking with weights.
Where do you buy the jarred?
The what?
Jarred banana pepper?
Those are just regular, like if you go in the pickle section at Meijer or any grocery store, they are in a jar like, Marzetti sells a brand of them, and they're right in there. I was asked about the banana peppers, and actually what I have on here they're like a banana pepper, but it's a little bit spicier. And I can't for the life of me right now remember what they were called, but they're very similar to that. You can find those in the pickle section of the grocery store. And then what I did, so once I got that cream cheese, or the Boursin cheese all spread out, then I just put the chopped banana peppers on the top of that. Again, remember, make sure it gets spread end to end, okay, before I rolled it up. Some of you don't have banana peppers, you have a sweet pickle relish in yours. So I tried to change it up. So if you're tasting it and going, this doesn't taste anything like a banana pepper, it's because I was trying to try some different things. Once I tasted, I thought, it needs a little something more. So I put a little gherkin on the top, just to give it a little bit of pop, rather than have it be kind of plain. So, questions on that? And that's just simply a matter of having the Boursin cheese, having some, get some salami. I bought 2 pounds of the large size salami at Meijer, and I was able to make 6 rolls with that. Okay, so that's 60 pieces. So you could go about half that if you wouldn't, because the Boursin you can just put on as much as you need. About a half a pack of the Boursin for each one is what I ended up doing. Okay? All right. Questions? I need some questions. Yes?
Was the salami you bought already sliced?
No, I bought it at the deli and I had them slice it
They
like
will slice it.
for sandwiches. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, they're very good. And it's hard to find the larger salami
Yeah.
already packaged, and I would not recommend using the smaller. On the recipe it said you could, but it would be a disaster. Yes, yes. So you want to get the or the sandwich size of that, okay? Yes?
What flavor of the Boursin cheese?
I actually used the garlic chive, and one of the packages was the garlic chive, the other was just the regular garlic and herb. So I don't know which one you got, but they taste really similar to me. I just like the little added flavor of those, rather than just having it plain. So I kind of modify, that's my favorite thing to do, is modify recipes. My husband used to have a fit because he's like, okay, how many teaspoons? I go, just put some in. He's like, no, I can't do it that way. So anyway, all right, so the next thing that we're going to try is, we'll try the tortellinis, okay? So the tortellini skewers are not on this because they're very simple to make. I didn't have to really give you like a set recipe. I bought the refrigerated Buitoni, the green and white, okay, cheese-filled tortellini. I cooked it for about 5 minutes so it stayed really firm, all right? And then I put it in a bowl, put some Italian, oh, you know what else I wanted to do? Joni, hold on. Needs a little glaze. Needs a little balsamic glaze on there. Yeah, oh, sure. All right. Okay. My favorite thing, do you guys use balsamic glaze? Oh, this and chili crisp are my 2 favorite things to put on stuff. Where was I? Okay, so I then drained it. I put a little Italian dressing in the tortellini, put it in the fridge, let it sit and marinate for about 3 hours. Now, the nice thing about these skewers is that you can really put anything on them. I put tomatoes and olive, they look Christmassy because of the colors. But I've also I've put fresh cucumber on, I've used cheddar cheese cubes, salami, but I didn't want to do salami because I didn't want to repeat, trying to get some different things. But you can do almost anything with them, and they're very easy to make and to put together so that you can, kind of this is another thing you could have in your fridge over the holidays. I know you guys have a lot of free time over the holidays, so you probably don't need all these little time-saving measures. For some of us, though, it's a little stressful. So the more you can do ahead of time. The other thing I was going to mention, when you are having a holiday dinner, and you probably have had this, I love brie baked in puff pastry. I love sausage stuffed mushrooms. I love artichoke and spinach dip. But here's the thing. The dinner is in the oven. So it's very hard to then make room to do the appetizers. So if you're not doing a big dinner, or if your dinner is cooking on top of the stove, it's not so bad. These are all things you don't have to worry about. You can feed your hungry vulture masses because they all come in or your way. What do we have? I said, well, we're having, but what are we having before that? You can put out all your little appetizers and you won't have to interfere with your oven because that is a big problem. See, they're very holiday-ish, aren't they? Okay. Now, what I did was, some of you got that. Didn't you get a little plate there? Okay. Brian's going to yell at me. Okay.
Thank you.
Did you guys all get? Yeah. All right. So over the top, I also like to put a little balsamic glaze. Does anybody not get any on yours? Because some of them, oh, I'll come along and get you some. Oh, okay, yeah. You want a little,
Did the dog eat your homework?
did the what?
Did the dog eat your homework?
Yes. The 2 slices of my salami.
So pretty.
Okay. I love balsamic glaze on everything. It's just so good.
That at Meyer?
Do you-
That glaze?
Yep. I think I did get this at Meyer. Yeah. Now they're starting to get, like, Chili Crisp was very hard. Has anybody ever used Chili Crisp? You haven't used Chili Crisp? Okay. It became really popular like this summer. It's almost like a chili oil with the chilies in them, but it's got a crispy texture to it. It's really good like on pizza, or if you make like broiled chicken with a little bit on the top. It's spicy, but you can control how much you put on it. So that's the thing, but it's really good. This, I found a little clue on how to find things at Meyer. I go into pretending I'm going to pick it up, and then I click on what it is and the product details, and it tells me what aisle it's in. That makes things a lot simpler. Because I sometimes, do pick up too, whatever, when I don't feel like getting out of the car, especially when it's winter going to be coming up. But that'll tell you where it is. So usually balsamic glaze would be where you'd think it would be where the balsamic vinegar is, but I haven't found it there. It's usually in the international aisle or something like that. So you're just going to have to kind of look around and see, and try I think they're carrying Chili Crisp now too. I got mine at Amazon. It's really good.
What is the difference in flavor between that and regular balsamic?
Between like a balsamic vinegar, this is like if you took balsamic vinegar and you reduced it to a glaze, like you cooked it on top of the stove for probably quite a while. Usually it takes about half an hour to cook down. That's what this is. So it kind of takes out a lot of the liquid and makes it more of a sweet, thicker consistency. Yeah, it's really good too. Like I use it to marinate things before I put them in the oven. There's all you'll find ways to do it. I just love the taste of it. It really tastes, it's got a nice, I love balsamic vinegar too, but this stays on stuff a little bit better. Chili, Chile, crisp, yep. And if I could have done something in an oven, I could have sampled, but it needs to go, I usually put it on something hot. I'm sure you could do other things too, but it's, okay.
They have quite a large bottle at Williams-Sonoma. Of course, you have to pay a price for that.
For which one, the balsam?
Yeah, the syrup, like.
Yeah. I mean, I used to make my own. It's not hard to do. You just put balsamic vinegar in and like a good one, and then you put it in there and you just cook it down. But you do have to watch it because it will stick. It's got, sugar in it, so you have to kind of keep your eye on it when you do it. But now they make it like this, and it really makes things a lot easier. Like nice fresh summer tomatoes, which are bye-bye now, but tomatoes sliced, a little balsamic vinegar on the top. Oh, yes. We can dream of it for next summer, right? Okay. All right. So any questions so far? Okay. Now we're going to try a family recipe that everyone that I've tried it out on, they love it. So I've been making this for years. So can we put these in the cups there, my sous chefs? I love it. Sous chefs, come up here. Okay, so I love it. So we're gonna put, for each one, we're gonna take one of these little jalapeno cheddars, okay? All right, and then I would say we probably can get 2 pieces in here with a little of the sauce. And then I got these cute little picks. Beautiful. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do those. So let me talk to you a little bit about the jalapeno. Okay, here's something I tried this time that we've gotta make some adjustments on. These are jalapeno cheddar shortbreads. They sounded fantastic to me. I thought rather than making like jalapeno cornbread or something like this, I would try these. So I, was kind of on a good roll this morning. Dogs had their salami, everything was going well. And I went to make this, and it was the one thing you have to do have you ever made biscuits, anybody? Do you make biscuits? Okay, very good. Not the kind you pop out of the can. Okay, very good. So you need to have, if you have a pastry cutter, which I do, because it was my mother's, I couldn't find it because the last time I made a pie was like never, pie crust. So I couldn't find it. I usually use it for decoration, but wherever I stuck it, I've been on this clean out kick that Jamie and I keep talking about this. Gotta get our places organized. Get rid of stuff you don't use. And then you're like, what do I do with that? So I cut it with butter, and it takes about 5 minutes. The whole idea is you're using cold butter. The cold butter is kind of encapsulates in the flour. So as it cooks, it kind of expands it and makes these little buttery pockets that are really, really good. So I get this all mixed up. I cut the flour in the butter, put the egg in, put the jalapenos in, put the cheese in, and it's like this it says shape it into a ball. Well, it was just crumbs. I kept trying. I'm like, did I read this wrong? I looked at the recipe. I looked at the reviews because, usually that's where people go, I think you forgot something because it didn't come out the way you said. There were no reviews. So I must have been one of the first ones to do the recipe. I thought, no, there's got to be a way to salvage this. So what I did is and you might want to put this on the thing there. I added in about a tablespoon of milk, mixed it all, got my hands in there, crumpled it all up, and it started to come together, and I was able to make a nice ball. But it just lacked moisture, and the only moisture that was in there was the one lightly beaten egg, and it just wasn't enough, okay? So I made it into a ball, wrapped it in saran wrap. It goes in the refrigerator. So some of these things are better if they're chilled ahead of time, okay? Then this makes about 12 big ones. I made 40 little ones, so they're kind of small. Here's something else I would change about this recipe. I felt they were on the bland side. Now, one of our fellow adult librarians, Catherine, came in, and she tried a piece of the kielbasa, and she said, put the biscuit in there, and it was great. So, a new thing. But if I was going to serve these with like a ham, these would be great. Like if you had them out for a ham, or you could have them with chili. They'd be great with chili, or just a little thing on your charcuterie board, to put on there. They're really, really good, but a little more salt. I think it says a half a teaspoon of salt, maybe. Mm-hmm. I would go a little bit more and then taste it, okay? I'd also put a little cayenne pepper in there. Okay, so I would put like a pinch or 2 of that in because I felt it needed more seasoning. So whoever their editor was didn't do a very good job of like, did they make this? I'm not sure because didn't come out. But anyway, when they were done, they bubble and they're like buttery and you smell them throughout the house. You can smell the jalapenos. I'm like, I should just keep these and not bring these in tonight. But I didn't because I'm talking about generosity here. So we brought them in and they do taste really good with the kielbasa. Now the kielbasa recipe, I actually used smoked sausage. You could use turkey sausage if you'd like to. I've done that before too and it's been good. You could use actual kielbasa. I bought the big thing of the Eckrich smoked sauce or the smoked sausage, and if you don't buy the ones that are linked, or the ones that are curly like a coil, it's a lot easier. These were like straight 6 pieces, and you cut them into 1-inch coins, okay, and dump them in, and you can simmer these on your stove. I would suggest if you want to have a nice, pleasant, relaxed holiday, I wouldn't do that because the chili sauce in there it's a little sugary and you're gonna have to be stirring it. You dump it in the crock pot with 2 bottles of chili sauce, a medium sliced onion, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a couple tablespoons of sweet pickle relish, and I also put in a little bit of sriracha barbecue sauce in it because I always like to put in something of my own that's different, you know. And then everybody always goes, this doesn't taste like yours, but I just felt like I needed something more. You put it in there, I cooked it for 4 hours on high. It comes out perfectly. Really, really good. And this is something that would be very easy to make ahead for a football, you know, you're having friends over to watch a game, New Year's Eve, something. They're always like gone.
So did you cut it into coins first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cut it into coins, dump the coins in, and you can make them, I mean, anywhere from probably about 1 inch. Make them sort of uniform so they'll cook uniformly. Questions on this? No questions? Just like, when am I going to try this? Yeah. Yes.
Is this supposed to be low heat or high heat?
I actually, I cooked them on high on my crock pot. Normally, I would probably cook them high 2 hours, and then I would let them simmer on low for maybe 3 to 4. You don't have to go that long. I just think the sauce melds together better when it has longer. And then I just leave it on warm for when I'm going to serve it. Okay. I left it on high today because I wanted to make sure it was cooled down enough I could get it in my car without like killing myself. So, so it's coming around for you to try. I hope you love it. Try the little jalapeno bread thing with it. Yes?
Would you speak about where you get these adorable little serving things?
Yes.
It'll be very
Amazon! You know what? I went looking for picks every place, and they were just not to be found. And so I went on Amazon, and they have the skewers, they have the little picks, they have really cute holiday ones with little stars on the end. Brian would let me get those because they were more expensive. So just kidding, Brian.
These plastics too, because that's very.
The little cups were from there too. I had to really go through and look for them because they all wanted to come with lids. So, but I finally put 2 ounce. I wasn't sure the size. I knew I wanted them smaller because they're 2 ounce like this. So if you put in 2 ounce plastic cups, no lids, it should take you. And they were very reasonably priced, you know. So you're able to use them. And I mean, probably at home you wouldn't, but this is great for, you know, for here. How do you like it? Yeah? Okay.
It's good with the biscuit.
It is with the biscuit. It's good, isn't it? So my biscuit fail was actually a win.